He caught it. Come on, let's play a game.
Screen time plays a big role in Mariam Shahid's family. Her kids are growing up with them. They're even on them.
Hi everyone, I'm Zaid from My Kid World. Don't forget to subscribe.
But 4 years ago, Mariam banned them.
They weren't interested in conversation. They weren't interested in going outside. And when we were outside, they would ask for the iPad.
So they went cold turkey.
And then the pandemic hit. And all of a sudden, we're like, okay, now what? Right?
The rest of their story will sound familiar. Most kids these days are using screens more, whether it's for school, physical activity, just to pass the time.
You know lots about fish.
Or maybe Peppa Pig is picking up some of the parenting.
I really want to drive home the message that there should be no guilt around this. We're all in this together.
There are so many other healthy alternatives.
Michelle Ponte is a pediatrician, but she also wrote the guidelines on screen time for the Canadian Pediatric Society.
What are the things that parents should be keeping in mind or thinking about?
We need screens more than ever to help us with our homeschooling and keeping up with the kids' education and all of those educational tasks. Another priority would be active use of screens, so active video games. And then the other thing is the social use of screens, right? How are your teens connecting through this pandemic?
I only need 1/5 the force to lift this cinder block.
But what about videos like this? A good replacement for mom or dad doing the teaching?
The answer is absolutely not. You know, we can't sort of kid ourselves to think that turning on a video and all of a sudden this is educational.
But, says Dr. Ponte, talking about what they've seen and reinforcing it can make all the difference. And here's what to watch for to make sure your family is hitting the right balance.
A key point when screen time becomes problematic, and that is when it is interfering with those other daily life things that need to happen, right? So again, good sleep, physical activity, getting outdoors, socializing, meal times.
Back in Mariam's home, she's found what feels like the right balance. Screen time that has to be earned.
My biggest goal coming out of this pandemic is to come out with the least amount of burnout for myself and my kids. And I feel like the screen time, as weird as it sounds, is giving us that space that we need from each other.
And just remember, in a pandemic, nobody's perfect.
We are really looking for just progress and not perfection. And there's always tomorrow.